Hello, and welcome to Ice is Slippery, an unserious podcast about hockey, brought to you by 1.5 hockey fans. My name is Kate, and I'm the hockey fan.
And my name is Fred. I am half a hockey fan.
Good morning, Fred. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, all things considered.
All right, good deal.
I can already tell this is going to be a little more tricky than I thought it might be.
I believe that the dental work from Friday might affect some of the podcast
quality?
Yeah, it might.
Yes.
Do what you can.
I'll do what I can. Yes, I had extensive dental surgery on Friday. I'm doing a lot better than I thought I would, but I definitely sound a little goofy. So just try to bear with me, and you can try to do whatever you do in post-production to make me sound a little less goofy, hopefully.
I don't know if I can do that, but we'll find out.
I guess we will. Well, let's just get right into it and try to keep me talking less than usual, if possible.
Oh, good. I'll talk more. Everyone's going to love that.
You're going to have to carry this podcast, babe. You're in charge now.
No problem.
So let's start with trade news.
Oh, my God. What a week of news with trades.
Okay, good job. You're crushing it. Well, probably the biggest story of the week kicked off Friday night when a surprise 3-team trade went down. There were a lot of moving parts, but the most shocking aspect was that the Avalanche sent Mikko Rantanen to Carolina in exchange for Marty Necas and Jack Drury.
Yeah.
That was a lot of words to say.
That was.
But I did it.
Yes, you sure did. And I will say, you know how I don't like the business of hockey so much? Mm-hmm. Like how much people make and what their cap space is and what their all that nonsense, like the GM mode of like NHL 25, basically.
Right. That's not really your speed.
No, I'm not interested. This one I found interesting.
I think it was pretty interesting for everyone, including the parties involved.
Yes.
You know, the big talk was that, oh, well, Rantanen wanted $14 million and he wasn't budging and this and that. But I imagine you don't know this. This morning, a Finnish newspaper or magazine had an interview with Rantanen. And the translation is that Rantanen had no idea this was coming. He was totally willing to come down. He thought that they were still in negotiations. Huge surprise for him.
Well, yeah, I can imagine. I feel like I was surprised. I don't even really know him that well, other than he like works down the street from us.
Right, pretty much.
And whenever they're talking about Makar and McKinnon, they're like, oh my God, and Rantanen, so good. And like constantly hyped about him. I thought he was kind of a centerpiece of the team. So for him to be up and out, obviously I hadn't been paying attention to any of the like, oh, he wants more money than they're willing to give kind of stuff. Because, again, snooze fest for me. But once shocking things happen, I guess I'm on board. I'm excited. I'm like, ooh, what does this mean? What does that mean?
I don't even think that was like a huge conversation. To be fair, we've only been paying attention to JT Miller and Elias Pettersson.
I haven't.
I mean the general we. Which the Canes, I guess, were in on those talks too. But since they now have Rantanen, they're like, nope, we're good. We're all set. We're all full up here. So the JT Miller trade talks continue to be the will they, won't they plot line of the year.
Yeah. Also snooze fest for me.
That one is kind of a snooze fest. I will agree on that one.
Yeah. But yeah, fascinating, I guess. Necas, is that how you say his name?
I think Necas.
Necas.
We've had this debate all weekend. We still haven't figured it out. One day we'll figure it out.
Well, anyway, I'm aware of his presence, and I've always thought that he was a great skater with great puck control and usually very impressive. So putting him in Colorado, I don't know, seems like a pretty good fit. I don't know about Rantanen in Carolina, but I mean, anybody here who's high skill, high skate seems like they'll do okay.
Yeah, we did watch a little bit of the Avalanche game yesterday because Wedgwood was starting. And Necas, I mean, really was already in the game, picked it up right away. He was doing fantastic from what I could tell. He looked like he had adapted to the Colorado system immediately.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, that's really more his style of play. And Carolina wasn't having him play his style of play. So as good as he's been doing there, he could be doing a lot better in Colorado, actually.
Well, good. I'm excited for him to play here, I guess, and help Wedgwood.
Yes, that's all we really care about with the Avalanche is just Wedgwood.
I just want Wedgwood to
flourish.
Wedge win.
Wedge. We're just going to wedge watch for a wedge win,
We're looking for a wedge win.
but that's all we care about.
He did not win last night or whenever, though, right?
He did not. That was yesterday morning, I think.
And shout out to the Homer Colorado broadcasters of Colorado, because
nothing is ever Wedgwood's fault.
It is not his fault. It's everyone else's fault. He's fantastic, and I love them for that.
Yes, I find them a little overbearing at times, but you know what? We can agree that nothing that Scott Wedgwood does is wrong. Yeah. He's always right. Everybody else is wrong. He's fine. Yeah.
So anyway, interesting. I like it. I hope that there's more shocking revelations throughout the year, because at least that'll keep me interested during these doldrums of a grind part of the season.
Well, at least we have a break coming up. I think we've got one more week of hockey, and then we have a little break for the Four Nations face-off. So
no break at all. Just a different look of hockey.
I mean, it'll still be a bit of a break.
Yeah. But the other teams are going to be still playing, though, right?
No, I think it's a break. It's like the All-Star break, right?
Oh, is it really?
I'm pretty sure.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll have to look into it. I was just assuming it was like the All-Star break where everybody else is on break.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I felt like people were saying, oh, how are you going to play without them? They're like, well, it's an opportunity for them. We'll figure it out.
I mean, I have been, in my defense, extremely busy at work the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
Because I've been trying to get all my work done before I had all my dental work done. And so I haven't been really paying attention to anything.
Well, sound like me.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to be Fred. You're going to be Kate. It's going to be wild.
Yep.
So, continuing conflicts. Last week we mentioned that Connor McDavid was going to have a hearing for cross-checking Connor Garland in the face.
Yeah.
The verdict is in, and McDavid got a 3-game suspension, as did Tyler Myers, who is a Canucks player who cross-checked Evan Bouchard in the face right after the McDavid cross-check. Everyone has an opinion on this.
They do. Well, now that I've seen it, like, yeah, he obviously did that on purpose. Like, he should get some sort of, like, something, right? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was intentional. He was frustrated. He lost his cool, but you can't do that.
No.
It's just not a thing that you can do.
I don't know that I have much more opinions than that.
Well, it kind of depends on where you're coming from, I guess. Sidney Crosby, who, another great player who's skilled, who has probably been targeted quite a bit, said, the one time you see that, you probably didn't see the 9 hits that Connor McDavid took. Those are the ones that never make the highlights. When you retaliate, you make the highlights. So there's that. The Oilers said, the Oilers organization is disappointed, and we share in our fans' frustration over the 3-game suspension of our captain, Connor McDavid. We support him through this process, and the organization and our fans look forward to having him back in the lineup, because it's like he went to war or something, and they have to be really serious.
I guess, yeah. I don't know.
Lian Bichsel said, I think 3 games is a little much for either side. I guess we don't overly care about having our best players in the league in the game, which, again, I think we would love to see our best players play, but we would like to see them not hit people in the face, too.
Yeah.
Even if they're being pestered into it.
I don't know. I feel like I guess I do have opinions, and everyone needs to shut up and just, like, give the man a suspension and move on with their day.
Corey Perry said, why aren't we protecting our superstars? And then like a day or two later, he slammed Quinn Hughes headfirst onto the ice during a scrum without any sense of irony whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, why aren't we protecting? Shut up. Just...
Yeah, you're just saying that because he's on your team. If he wasn't on your team, you would have cross-checked him in the face. Like, we all know you, Corey Perry. Like,
yeah, exactly.
We know who you are. We've seen you with our eyeballs.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know about this one.
I will say I think Alex Ovechkin has the best take.
What?
I don't think he meant to do that, but sucks for him, good for us. He's not playing tonight. We'll take it.
There you go. See, that's yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, whatever. He was kind of provoked into it. Whatever. He did it. Too bad, so sad.
Yeah.
It's an advantage for me, and that's all I care about.
I don't know. I just don't understand this storyline of protecting our star players. Like, what's your definition of a star player? Is it money? Is it skill? Is it how long? Like, it's such a gray area. Like, I know, like, the big names with the big money are generally the people, but, like, stop. Like, they get treated differently because stop. Just stop it.
I saw somebody, it might have been the Oilers coach, talking about how, these pesky players now, you can't just go after them and hit them because they know how far they can go without getting in trouble. And it's like, well, yeah, that's what they do. It's a thing. Like, it's little rat man behavior.
Right.
And I get that it's frustrating, but it doesn't mean you can hit them in the face.
Yeah. And how does this dovetail with the league's soft argument that I constantly hear? Like, can everyone just shut up?
I mean, that would be great. Of course, if everybody just shut up, we wouldn't be doing this right now.
That's true. And we keep talking about it. Let's move on to the next thing that I don't care about.
Let's do that. In other, I guess, conflict-adjacent news, the Utah Hockey Club continues to fight for a name.
Oh, I do care about this.
Yeah. They had a setback this week when their trademark application for the Utah Yetis was rejected due to a, quote, likelihood of confusion, though they can and likely will appeal.
I'm glad that they're going with the Yetis. Is that like the first confirmation of it, or did we already know this?
I think that's the first like real solid confirmation.
Right.
I do think that they have had some other things rejected, but I think that's the first one that we know for sure what was rejected.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm still optimistic. I think a case can be made. I like the Utah Yeti. I think it's got a good vibe.
The Yeti's the great name that what's the guy's nickname on the team? Big
Spicy Tuna.
Spicy Tuna looks like a Yeti.
He does.
Right?
It's true.
So I hope they get the name. I would imagine that they're going to steamroll any kind of stuff, right? The guy that bought the team's like a billionaire, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And he's got the NHL, and everybody wants them to be called the Yetis.
Everyone wants them to be the Yetis.
They'll figure it out. And if they don't...
Maybe they should just be the Utah Spicy Tunas.
I'm not against that either.
I know, right?
Yeah, that'd be, I don't know, fun for marketing, right?
I could go for some spicy tuna right now.
There we go.
There were some other spicy moments this week on the ice. That was not spontaneous. I literally had that written down, by the way.
Look at that segue.
Mm-hmm. On Sunday, the Canadiens played the Rangers and things got feisty. Matt Rempe and Arbor Jackeye dropped the gloves, and Jackeye kind of smoked the Empire State Building, which was hilarious.
Jackeye kicked his ass.
Yeah, it was great. Just because you're large, it doesn't mean you're good at fighting.
Right. And I mean, he likes fighting, but obviously Jackeye is just better at it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like he was ready to go and he was like, all right, we're throwing down and I'm going to kick your ass right now, sir.
Yeah. Those gloves like levitated off of his hands. It was like strings were pulled and angel choir sang and it was happening. And it was down.
As they were shuffling him off to the box, he was like hyping up the crowd, right? With his helmet off, like, hell yeah, like I'm the champion. And everyone was feeling it.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
And during that same game, the goalie, Jonathan Quick, had his stick knocked loose. So he wrestled Juraj Slafkovsky's stick right out of his hands and used it to defend the net. And I believe he got away with it.
He did, yeah.
Which is funny because later in the week, that would not happen when Elvis Merzlikins and Austin Matthews would both lose their sticks. Merzlikins picked up Matthews' stick. So Matthews picked up Merzlikins' stick and was trying to play hockey with a goalie stick for a hot minute. And then dropped it, but it was too late and everybody got penalties.
Yeah. As spoiler alert, you already know this, but it's literally my favorite thing that's happened all hockey season.
It's very funny. There's just something very funny about Austin Matthews. Standing there real gamely trying to like play hockey with a goalie stick and then being like, wait, this isn't allowed. And then just putting it back down, like kind of looking around.
Yeah.
It's too late. It's over.
Yeah. I mean, he only had it for like a second or two, but the look on his face and just the look of him with a goalie God, I don't know. I think it's hilarious.
I just want an all goalie stick game now.
Yeah.
Just let them all play with goalie sticks.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be hilarious.
God, he looks so goofy out there.
Oh my God, it was great.
I literally can't think of a better thing that's happened this season.
Yeah. No, it was super funny. Super great. I'm a huge fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really kind of all I took track of for the news this week. There was more, but I think I should save my voice for our teams.
This might be
a shorter episode.
I was just going to say we might need to just wrap this as soon as we can.
Yeah. Should we get into the Flyers?
Sure.
All right. Before we get into the games, I just want to mention that there are a few great articles about Travis Konecny that dropped this week. The first was in The Athletic by Kevin Kurz, and the second was in The Hockey News by Siobhan Nolan. And they both focus on how underrated he's been in the league outside of the Flyers fans in the know.
So his marketing team's really hyping him up right now.
I don't think that's it. I think people are just like, hey, that little rat man's pretty fun.
Yeah. I can't imagine they have marketing campaigns that are like, let's get my name in the news more.
Probably not. No. Both articles pretty much focus on the same things, that he's, underrated. In one of the articles, they even quote Austin Matthews as describing him as underrated, which is pretty great. Famous goalie Austin Matthews. Goalie forward Austin Matthews.
It's going to make me laugh every time I think of it. Anyway.
I know. We need to get you like a little figurine of him with the goalie stick.
Maybe I can get a t-shirt printed.
That'd be pretty great.
Yeah.
We love a custom shirt in this house. Both articles talk about how he's a fiery player. And that is one of the things that I really appreciate about John Tortorella is he hasn't tried to like squash the flame or extinguish the flame. He just is like, maybe try a controlled burn. That's it. Like,
Yeah. No, he stays out of TK's way. He's But then when TK gets to be quote unquote undisciplined, then he gets in TK's way.
Yeah, controlled burn. That's it.
Yep.
He's like, no, just that fire is getting a little out of hand. Like, let's just corral that fire a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. He's an instinctual player that needs to just do instincts and not do thinking too much.
Yeah, which is awesome. Both articles talked about how he's the engine that drives the team. Basically, they're both great reads if you are fond of our resident little rat man, which I certainly am.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. I won't read it, but...
I know, I'll just summarize it for you at some point.
Yeah.
So Tuesday, the Red Wings played the Flyers, and the Flyers won that one 2-1. Definitely the strongest game of the week. Urson played, had a great game, 96.4% save average. First goal was from Joel Farabee off of an opportunity created by Michkov. And you would have thought that it was like a playoff, like game-winning goal, the way that Michkov celebrated that. Like, he's so happy for his teammates when they score, and it's so cute. He was just like beaming and like leaped into his arms.
Right.
So I love that because, he could be this like little cocky, hot-headed superstar, which he is, but like he's one that's like a team first guy, which is amazing.
Right. Yeah. And this was this Farabee's first game back or no? Who am I thinking of?
It might have been.
I feel like it was.
Yeah. I can't remember if it was or wasn't, but I do know ever since he sat those 3 games coming back in, he's been phenomenal.
I think that was it. Yeah. He's got a fire under him, and so that's good.
Yeah. He's proven himself.
I thought that was a good game. The nice thing about being a Flyers fan is just going in like, well, they're probably not going to win this one. Let's see how they do. Like, it's real low stakes for me. So that was my general vibe going into that game. Throughout the game, I didn't feel great about anything. They were playing okay, though.
It was a tight, low-scoring game, but they did what they did.
Yeah, I was worried the whole time, and then they won, and I was like, congratulations.
Yep, Ristolainen had the game winner, much to everyone's surprise. Mostly because they didn't figure it out until after the game who actually had the game winner.
Right. Yeah, he's coming on strong here this second half. He's becoming more and more noticeable ever since he got named to Team Canada or whatever.
Finland.
Sure.
He's Finnish.
Well, yeah, he's been more noticeable ever since being named. And good for him.
His confidence might be up.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. The only sad thing about Tuesday was it was Philly's Pride Night, and Scott Laughton couldn't be there, which is a bummer. He had some family stuff going on, and he's been such an ally for the LGBTQIA community there.
Yep.
So he's been out all week, but I guess he was at practice today. So hopefully whatever's been going on with his family has been resolved and he's doing okay now.
Yeah.
So I just got worried because they had a baby not long ago. And
yeah, they had a baby.
Yeah.
And
babies are fragile and
yeah, for
weird.
Sure. Well, it certainly didn't spark any rumors or upset people in YouTube comments about him being away.
Oh, I'm sure everyone's completely normal about it.
Completely normal. They totally accept personal reasons as a reason to be away from that game of hockey. And everything's normal over there.
And don't have any problems with it.
Yep.
Well, Thursday, the Flyers played the Rangers. And the Flyers had a nice goal about a minute and a half into the first period. And if the game would have ended there, it would have been great. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, there were another 58 minutes or so to play.
Yeah.
And the Rangers scored like 6 times in that time period, and the Flyers did not score again. So that was not promising.
No, it wasn't a good look. The Rangers were clearly better that night.
They were feeling it.
They were certainly just their defensive pressure. They're the ones that play man-to-man, right? Like, it just felt like they were just swarmed the entire time, and they could not get like anything going. So
it was, just... They were smothered like gravy. Like, just, it was a lot.
Yep.
Yeah. Even Brian Boucher was like, you kind of can't deny the Rempe effect.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's a legend. He's a force for a reason.
Yeah, Torts wasn't even like that mad about the game though, because part of it was their goalie was just having a great night too. Like the Flyers were still making plenty of opportunities. Just they got kind of goalied on top of everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. And all week, he hasn't been that upset about any of the games. He's been pretty happy, even with the losses. So,
well, that's always something. And then the Flyers did have one more game on Friday. They played the Islanders, and we didn't watch that one because I think it conflicted with a Stars game.
It was like synced up to the Stars.
Like to the minute.
Commercial for commercial with the Stars game. Yeah.
Yeah. I know the Islanders won 3-1, so I don't think I even bothered to watch the highlights of that one.
Yeah. I have no context for that game at all.
Yeah.
So they lost, and, that happens.
That happens, and it's fine, and we can move on.
They're in a much different spot than they were like last week or the week before, or like they're kind of playoffy-ish. Like, not really, but
they're still kind of in the mix over there. Like,
right.
They're hanging in there. They're doing a lot better than anybody thought they would be. Could have imagined. I think anything is just gravy for them right now. So.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if they do anything with the trade deadline coming up, I guess, if that was something I was interested in.
Right. It would be interesting if you were interested.
Yeah.
But since you're not interested, it probably won't be interesting.
It probably won't be. But it would be interesting to know if they do anything, because it'll kind of indicate if they're going to try and get these kids into the first round of the playoffs or not.
I think if they do anything, it's going to be selling. I don't think they're going to be trying to bring anybody in.
I would imagine
for a playoff run. I think really it would just be a matter of selling. But it doesn't sound like they're interested in selling anybody.
No, that's
like,
good.
Danny Briere is like, yeah, we've been approached about Risto, but like we haven't, we're not seeking it out. We're not shopping them around. Same with Lawton. They're not shopping them around. I think if somebody came out with them with like a first round pick, then maybe they'd consider it. But
right.
They have a high asking price, even if the fans are like, they're not worth that. That's what it's worth to Danny Briere. So,
yeah,
he's like, I'm not getting rid of them for less than that. And that's his choice.
Yeah. And Tort said something in a practice interview or something this week. They were talking kind of about playoff stuff and trading people. And he's like, he said something to the effect that they know that their job as like GM and coach and the coaching staff for the next 2 or 3 years is really like teaching. So like they're not too, he's like, I don't really think about that or worry about that. He's like, we've got plenty of work to do regardless. So,
yeah. And, I think it just is risky to start thinking of people as commodities all the time. Look at what just happened in Colorado. Like, okay, Mikko Rantanen's gone. Now the whole team's like depressed. Nate McKinnon gave this interview and is like, well, the whole team's upset. We're
Right.
all very surprised. If nothing's happening with the Flyers and they're just hunkered down in rebuild mode, and like, team chemistry is like a thing,
Oh, yeah.
A big thing with the Stars this year, I feel like, is the team chemistry has been off. And just getting rid of people just to get rid of people just because you feel like whatever their on paper statistics are more important than the intangibles you don't know anything about. Like, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Like, you're not there in the room. You don't get it.
Exactly. This is why I don't like the business of hockey. This is why I don't like business.
True.
Yeah.
It's true. This is why you just want to live in your workshop and make loots.
Yeah, exactly. But I will say, I've worked obviously in the corporate world for too long. And when somebody gets canned that's important, unceremoniously, for whatever reason it may be, it generally sends ripples through the organization. It generally makes some people very unhappy. It makes some people very happy. But like, it's not a nothing when you get rid of somebody without everybody being on board or knowing. So I can only imagine, right? You said he's only ever been with that team?
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Like 10 years.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
His whole career.
I don't know. We're talking about this again, and this isn't Flyers news.
It's not.
But they should try and get him to the Flyers.
I don't think so. I don't think that's the direction they're going. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the Stars then,
All right.
since we're talking about team chemistry.
All right.
I did forget to mention this last week, but I think it's important, so I'll bring it up now. When I saw the Stars play in Colorado last weekend, I noticed that Wyatt was wearing the A, which I thought might be new, and it was.
Yeah.
Rope Hintz was out with an injury. He usually wears the A on the road. And they had Wyatt wearing it, which is just more proof that they are looking at him not just as a player that they're building the team around, but as a leader that they're building the team around.
Yes.
And I've been saying this right along, been saying this since last year. He's the future captain. and I'm sticking by it.
I mean, he last year definitely took over that role from Robertson. Like,
100%. Yeah. Remember, like, it was like Robertson, the face of the franchise. We're like, really?
Yeah.
Like, nothing against Robo. He just does not seem interested.
No,
like
no, he doesn't exude that energy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think a lot of people are too interested in being the face of the franchise, except maybe like Matty Kachuk. But yeah, seems like extra uninterested.
Yeah.
So,
well, they're picking, I think, their best option going forward.
Their best candidate. Somebody who's willing.
Yeah. I mean, Bichsel obviously would be next in line for me, but he's young and not going to get that. So.
Well, and he's very European.
He is very European.
It's a different vibe.
He's just doing his job.
He's just doing his job. He's just there to
be with his coworkers and do his job.
He's just there to look good and hit people.
Yep.
Which is great. So Jamie Benn actually has a slight excuse for being an absentee father to the rookies lately and making Wyatt step up so soon.
Yep.
He is having an off-ice child.
An off-ice child.
Yes. Yeah. He and his wife announced that they are expecting a child of their own. Mm-hmm. And then speaking of stars having babies, Tyler Seguin and his wife revealed that their daughter Ren has been born. Mm-hmm. So, babies having babies. Not that they are babies anymore, but when I started watching The Stars, it was 10 years ago-ish.
Okay.
I had a toddler, and Jamie and Tyler were just these like dumbasses in their early 20s.
Right.
And now they are slightly more mature dumbasses than I have a teenager. And that's just the passage of time, and it really fucks with you. I'm just like, no, they were dumb kids, and now they're dumb adults.
Yeah.
And I'm also a dumb adult. But I'm more of a dumb adult than I used to be. But it's wild.
Yep.
It was very strange, like seeing people like age like that.
Yeah.
I remember when Tyler Seguin was driving around naked on a Zamboni, and now he's a father.
You do remember that, don't you?
I do remember it.
Even I remember that.
Yes. No, that was like when I first got into hockey. I was like, why didn't anybody tell me about hockey? Hockey's great.
You're like, Fred, check this out. This is hockey.
It was very interesting.
This is very
anthropologically speaking. I mean, it's just funny to me, like Jamie and Tyler Seguin becoming dads together, like not together, but like concurrently.
Yeah, but they're going to have play dates, assuming they still live in the same general vicinity.
I mean, Family Skate's going to be lit in a couple of years.
Right.
Like, it's going to be great. And then we saw a picture of Mason Marchment holding baby Seguin. So,
yep.
And he looked like he was like, this is great. So now we're going to have little baby mushes running around. It's just crazy. So we have like the ice babies and then the off ice babies. It's just,
yeah,
like the stars weren't small enough. Now we have actual babies in the mix.
Right. Well, congratulations for them.
Yes, it's all very exciting. But the on ice stuff was exciting too.
Okay.
So Sunday, the Red Wings came and played in Dallas. And this was the day after that tough loss in Colorado.
Yep.
So back-to-back games. They just traveled back from Colorado. I was a little worried that it was going to be, maybe kind of tough. But the guys actually looked awesome. They came out strong from the beginning. We're still playing a lot of line roulette because of all the injuries.
Yep.
But things really clicked this time. They had Wyatt on the top line with Robo and Dodonov. Bork was on the second line with Jamie Duchesne, and everyone just looked really connected. The defense was much tighter than it was the day before. We really dominated the first 40 minutes. We started to look kind of draggy by the end, but I think that's to be expected on a back-to-back.
That can sometimes just be the way they look in the third period in general, though.
That's true, but especially on a back-to-back.
Yeah.
So this time I will cut up some slack.
For sure.
Is all I'm saying. For the highlights, Blumel scored, and it actually counted, unlike the time he scored in Colorado, and they took it back for being way offside.
Love that.
And Ritzkovian was playing. He got his first NHL point. He assisted on that goal.
Yep.
Jason Robertson had a power play goal. Mm-hmm. Continues performing.
I wish he would.
Well.
I wish he would stop so I could make fun of him.
I know, but he keeps doing well, and so you must acknowledge that he is good.
He keeps crushing it.
It's great.
Keeps putting that puck in the net.
Maverick Bork had a really pretty goal that happened because Lyubushkin joined in off the rush and made a very skilled pass. Mm-hmm. He has continued being really quietly impressive, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I really enjoy him. And then Stankoven did some nice footwork that did not end in a goal, but Razor did call him a fancy boy. So I think that that's worth acknowledging.
Yeah, I mean, that's the story. Stankoven did all kinds of stuff that didn't result in a goal.
But he's a fancy boy. And he's great.
He is.
Detroit did get on the board in the third, but then Wyatt immediately responded with a very fun and sexy forehand backhand goal. So they were having fun. They were like shaking it loose.
No, they looked good. Like I said, maybe last week, like I think that they have been looking good. They continue to be looking good.
Yes. They feel like they've kind of maybe hit their stride a little bit, even with missing some very important key players.
Yeah.
They're just kind of figuring out how to just like jam the pieces in and make it work somehow.
No, they're doing great.
They're adapting.
I don't know. They're still not super fun to watch. Like I'd still rather watch the Flyers, but because they're fun to watch at least.
They have been a little looser here and there.
They have.
It depends who they're playing though.
Yes.
The next game was on Tuesday and they played the Hurricanes. Hi, Jill and Mark, by the way. My aunt and uncle are listening to this. They're Hurricanes fans. So this was a national game. Which means that we had extra players on our team, including Jason Robinson.
Yep.
Because the national broadcasters cannot get the names of our players right. And not even hard names. Jason Robertson becomes Jason Robinson.
Yep.
Wyatt Johnston becomes Wyatt Johnson.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
The national games are... Well, we could probably just do a whole episode about how bad it is to have to listen to them talk about hockey.
Unbearably bad.
Unbearable. Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I kind of zoned out for most of the first period of this one.
Yes, you did.
The things did get exciting when we had to kill a 5-on-3.
Yep.
It was mostly exciting because the three that we had on the ice were Essa Lindell, Ilya Lushkin, and Colin Blackwell. And Essa and Bush are two of the best penalty killers in the game. Mm-hmm. And Colin Blackwell will do absolutely anything to either put a goal in the net or keep a goal out of the net, depending on what the context is.
Blackwell's got great hustle.
He absolutely does.
I'm never like, oh, what's Blackwell doing over there? Maybe once, but like everybody's allowed once.
He had like 2 bad penalties in the Avalanche game. But other than that, I've just been so happy with everything I've seen him do. He is just 100% in it.
He's got Stankoven energy.
He does.
Yeah.
It took me a long time to realize he is also a short king because he does not play small.
Yeah.
He's another one of our just little guys, but he plays a lot bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah, he fully blocked a puck with his body. Did great. So we killed that. We did have some fun moments with the Canes goalie, Kochetkov, also known as Poke Chekhov. He really likes to do poke checks.
You do like him. He's a wild card, right?
He's a little unhinged, and an unhinged goalie is my favorite goalie.
Yeah.
I do love him a little less after he robbed a goal from Stankoven.
Oh, God, yeah.
Usually able to brush it off, but he actually looked at the ceiling and went like, why? And looked so sad and like downtrodden.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen him that heartbroken over not having a goal. It was really hard to watch.
It was theft, yeah.
It was grand larceny, the grandest of the larceny.
Yes.
So that was pretty hard. I mean, I kind of told you from the beginning that this game would be a little slow for you because the Canes and the Stars play a really similar style of hockey.
Yep.
It's really sort of defense heavy.
Yep.
Very workmanlike.
Yep.
It's not Instagram hockey. It's the opposite of Instagram hockey.
It's not Instagram hockey and it's not Flyers hockey.
No, not really your kind. The Stars tend to match the energy of whoever they're playing with. And they have similar energy to the Canes already.
Yeah.
And so then they were just like matching that Canes energy, which, the Canes energy can be really fun when you're watching against like the Flyers and stuff. But if you're just going against another team that is similarly stifling, it just gets a little hard to breathe watching it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because when the Hurricanes are in their like offensive mode, they are fun to watch. Like, I get a kick out of Jarvis for sure.
Oh, for sure.
And Natchez I did as well.
Yeah.
But not anymore. Mm-hmm. And then I'm sure they have other players. Do they have the Bird guy still or no?
No, he's in Russia now. He plays at the KHL.
Oh, bummer. He was great. Liked him.
Kuznetsov.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good. No, they have some really good players. They're a good team. They're making moves this year. I think they want to be contenders.
I think so.
I think that they are a lot better about being disciplined in their system.
Yeah.
I think the Stars, I think that they don't want to necessarily be that disciplined. I don't think they want to be the Dallas Sad Boys. I think they want to play fun, sexy hockey. And when they have to like buckle down like that, they get a little sloppy about it.
Yeah.
And so that makes it a little less fun to watch.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the only person out there like really just like, no, guys, I'm going to have fun, sexy hockey is Duchesne.
Right. And he can't do it by himself because
No.
both of his fun, sexy hockey buddies are damaged, you know?
Exactly.
Seguin's recovering from hip surgery. Mason Marchment has a plate in his face. Like, these are all...
Yeah.
He can't do it by himself.
You can't rely on that youth pastor energy to like bring fun, sexy hockey all the time.
Yeah, especially when you don't have Seguin or Marchment, who are definitely like the fun, sexy guys on
Right.
the team.
Exactly.
Like, all the fun, sexy is gone.
Yep.
And then you've got the youth pastor there. Like, it's not going to work.
Yep.
He's trying.
He is.
Trying. But, and the young guys, I think, are trying a little too. But
Absolutely.
it's just hard. They just want to be free from the shackles of their system and they can't quite break out.
Yeah.
It did not help that the officiating was really bad this game.
Oh, God, it was a nightmare.
It was really bad. Like, Sam Steele had to go to the box for like colliding with their goalie, which valid.
Sure.
Fine. But then Seth Jarvis took Otter out, and that was totally okay. He didn't have to go to the box.
Mm-hmm.
Kochetkov came out from behind the net and was playing the puck outside of the trapezoid, which is apparently totally okay.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, and Borg had to jump over him to try to clear him.
Yep, he sure did.
But that was okay. That was fine.
Those things are fine.
They tried to put Brendan Smith in jail for a crime he did not commit.
Oh, that's right.
They said he put the puck out of play when it clearly deflected. But luckily, you can challenge that as of like this month.
Yeah.
So we were able to challenge that. But it was funny because Brendan Smith was doing his very best Mason Marchment. Like, oh, come on. That was not me. I didn't do it. So it made me really miss Mush. And I hope he comes back soon.
Yeah.
So, you know, it didn't really matter, even with all of the penalties and stuff. The Stars have had plenty of games this season where we have just ground teams down in the last few minutes. And that's what the Canes did to us this time. They just ground us right down into dust. We were not able to shake it off. But, I mean, it was 2-1, so it wasn't like a terrible blowout, at least.
Yeah, no, 2-1. Super exciting. I love a 2-1 game.
Well, that's okay, because guess what? Friday came along.
Oh, boy.
Friday was a real exciting game.
Friday was.
Even though it was another national broadcast.
I was just going to say, shout out to the friggin' national broadcasters who came up with 3 storylines that they could repeat for the entire game.
I mean, even they couldn't kill the excitement of the game, so I guess that shows how exciting it was.
They did finally come around in the third period because, I mean, I've mentioned this before, and it was very apparent just how, I don't know what the word is, but just uninvolved, just...
Detached from reality?
Detached from reality, just not, like, invested. They get so distracted, like... Whoever the guy is that does the play-by...
Bucci-Gross. John Bucci-Gross.
Bucci-Gross? Bucci.
Bucci.
Yeah. Weeksy wasn't there, but Bucci was.
Thank God. I mean, I'll take Bucci over Weeksy any day, but...
Them and their stupid nicknames. But yeah, his play-by-play, he like loses the drift. All he does is shout out names. He's like, Robinson, Johnston, missed a pass.
Back to Robinson.
And then he'd just get completely distracted and be like, you know, Robinson hasn't been the same since they didn't allow him on the Team USA. And you're like, we're in the middle of a thing right now. Can we watch the... Oh, my God. Anyway.
He's really been on a heater since then, though, because he's trying to prove himself.
He's on a heater. Yep.
Yeah. It was a lot.
And Wyatt Johnson is warming up. He's starting to get hot.
Yeah. He's not on a heater yet. That's Robinson.
Yeah.
Johnson's warming up, but Robinson's on a heater.
And then when they scored a goal, my God, didn't they let you know that they told you that he was on a heater?
Just like we said, he's on a heater. It's because of the Four Nations. They left him off the Four Nations roster, and now he's heated and he's on a heater.
Oh, God, I just want to punch myself in the face listening to them talk. Anyway.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
So I've relaxed on my distaste for a lot of teams, but I will say that I still do not like Vegas, and I don't believe I ever will. They are just the villains to me. And that's okay. I'm fine with them being one-dimensional cardboard villains.
Yeah, one-dimensional cardboard villains that the ESPN crew cannot stop talking about.
Oh, my God.
How many times did they say Eichel?
At least 1 million.
Oh, my God.
It was
like
insane.
I get it. Like, he's real good, and it was very clear how good he was in that game, even though they couldn't do anything with it.
I think after the game, I said, I said, oh, I think Vegas only had 18 shots on goal. And you said, oh, so Eichel had 18 shots on goal.
Right.
Because that's really what it felt like. It very much felt like the Eichel show.
And God, were they happy that it was the Eichel show and they could just talk about Eichel. Anyway.
Well, something I appreciated about this game is, Vegas is full of big bitches. And so Peter DeBoer realized, oh, you know what? We need some big bitches.
Yeah.
So we got Big Bish.
Big Bish.
Lian Bichsel came back up to play for us.
Yeah.
I love him. He's great.
You know our feelings on Bichsel.
He's my favorite.
Yep.
And he was great. He was just in there.
Yeah.
Putting down hits.
Doing his thing. Competent.
Looking great. Looking competent. They actually had Brandon Smith playing forward instead of defense so that they could have Bichsel in the lineup, which I thought was pretty fun and creative.
Yeah.
Because they, wanted to have another big body on forward.
Yeah. No, it was great. Happy to see him. I guess we're at the point now where they need to make a decision on him.
Well, that's what I was thinking. But then I haven't seen anybody else talking about that. So I don't know. Maybe because it's the second year of his ELC.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's more
contract stuff is.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I'm bored.
Same. Same. Yeah. I was thinking since it's, he's at his 10th game now after last night. But yeah, whatever. We don't have to get into all that.
But you said that Pete said that him and Jim were saying that he looks almost ready.
After the last time they sent him down, Pete and Jim and the other coaches all sat down and talked, and they basically said he looked almost ready. He just needed a little more time, and then he's got to come back up and just get stay in the NHL and get ready. So
yeah, hard to disagree that he's almost ready, but I'll allow it.
Yeah, he's ready.
Yeah.
He's the readiest.
He's
readier than some of the people we've had on the team all season.
Absolutely.
He's the readiest. He's great.
Yep.
So, yeah.
He's basically our new Wedgwood.
He is.
Yeah.
No, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
He's Wedgwood, but violent.
Wedgwood, but violent.
Which is totally my type. So, no, I just really enjoy him. Jack Eichel did get on the board first, which was not really auspicious. But then Robo Hintz blessed us with a power play goal. Mm-hmm. It, again, just goes to show how small our team is. At one point, I was like, Robo Hintz is gigantic because he gathered everyone into him. He's 6'3", which is, big, but it's not huge by hockey standards. But he looked like a towering monster compared to Dezhanov and Stankoven and everybody else.
Yeah, he's a little taller than me.
Yeah, you're tall, but
Yeah, I'm not.
I guess on skates he looks taller, but everybody else was on skates too.
That's true. They were all wearing skates.
John Bouchercross said something about Wyatt Johnston smelling the gloves at some point, which didn't feel very appropriate.
God. Yeah, I didn't like that. And then I had to look up the Spinal Tap reference from Smell the Glove, and I just didn't enjoy any of that.
No. Robo stayed hot, because I'm not sure if you heard, he's been heating up and is on a heater.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to redeem himself ever since he's been shunned by the
Four Nations. Yes. So that was, I think, when he had his first goal.
Yep.
They were going into that. Then Jamie Benn had a nice net front redirect, which I will always take. And then Robo scored again. And I think maybe we can say that Robo is back.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I think maybe he has finally found his groove.
Yeah. I can't.
He's looking good.
I can't say anything. I really want to.
I know. You don't want to like Robo.
No, I don't want to. But if he's going to do well, then
you have to give him the credit.
I will certainly give him the credit. No, he's been crushing it. And that Jamie Benn goal was the a la Pavelski goal. And it was good to see.
It was. Yeah. You need to have that sometimes.
Yeah. Somebody that can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
seems important.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of a big part of what we did last year.
Yep.
As much as it was great to have all that offense, we had 4 goals. We also had Jake, and Jake was incredible.
Yep.
He didn't have a lot to do most of the game, but the last minute or two, he was super, super clutch.
The last minute or two were hyped.
Super hype.
Yeah.
Bouchercross just screaming until he lost his voice.
Yep.
I wish he would have lost his voice sooner, but, you can't have everything.
Yeah.
But, they were the ESPN people were like, we could watch this game all night, which is pretty high praise, honestly.
Yeah, he was like, I'm sad this game is over because I want to keep watching it.
Yeah. It got real good at the end.
It was electric at the end for sure.
It really was.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch. And that was like Dallas Stars hockey at its best, when we're really dialed in.
Hard agree.
When we're really dialed in, when we're really feeling it, when we're really, I don't know, just bringing it. And I know we can do that. And that's why I get frustrated when we don't do that, because I know what we're capable of.
Right.
But that felt like Dallas Stars hockey. It was like the Dallas Starsiest hockey we played all season. So
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, because, for the most part, they make me snooze. But when they don't make me snooze, they're great.
they're so electric.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just gets frustrating when they are sleepy boys because I want them to be the electric boys.
Yeah. Yeah. So the power play's fixed, right? Is that the takeaway?
It's improved substantially since January. If you look at like just in isolation, our power play stats in January were amongst the top of the league.
See?
But that's just if you would look at our January stats, which is a very small slice of the picture.
I know.
Who knows if that's going to keep up.
You still hide your face as soon as they're on the power play.
I have no confidence in the power play still. It still seems extremely random.
But the PK is good.
PK is good, has been good, continues to be good.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
we have that going for us.
Yep.
So, and then we did have another back-to-back. So that was Friday was against Vegas. And then yesterday we played the Blues,
Yep.
which always kind of nice seeing the Blues just because we have some of our former stars on there. I don't really care about
I was
Suter.
going to say,
I don't really care about Suter, but Radek Fox is there and I like him.
you do like Fox, yeah.
Although I like him a little less after he smashed Lian Bichsel into the ground
Yep.
on a kind of shitty hit.
Yep.
So I didn't like that.
No.
Really, it was just a very cheap, shoddy game on the part of the Blues.
It seemed to be almost like a team directive, like go hurt them
I can tell you exactly when it happened.
after the timeout.
We scored a goal.
Yep.
And then Jim Montgomery, the new Blues coach, called a timeout 7 minutes into the game. And then immediately after that, Jake Neighbors tried to start shit with Lian Bichsel, who just squeezed his face, which is just so emasculating. Having this giant 20-year-old who towers over you, just squeezing your little face and being like, what do you think you're doing? And then Jake Neighbors went to the penalty box, and then we scored again,
Yeah.
which was a power play goal, which was scored by Essa Lindell, which is hilarious because he's not on our power play.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he can do it all.
We had like 3 seconds left on the power play. He was back out because it was about to go back to 5-on-5. And Robo Hintz passed it over to him, and he did it. It was his first power play goal in 5.5 years. He does not play on the power play. But
Yeah.
I guess he would like to, Pete said. Pete's like, yeah, Essa's been asking for power play time. And I'm like, fucking give it to him then.
Might
Jesus.
as well. Yeah.
He'll do it himself. He doesn't care.
Yeah. And I will say, like the physicality of that game, like I don't mind physical hockey, but when you're physical just to be physical and don't have anything to back it up with, I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy violent hockey, I guess, is the word.
That is definitely the distinction. Like Bichsel put down some good hits, mashing people up into the boards
Sure.
and the ice. They were good, clean, solid hits.
Yeah.
What the Blues were doing things like shoving Duchesne from behind. So he bashed his face into somebody's elbow and bled all over the ice.
Yep.
And like technically avoided any kind of penalty because he wasn't strictly elbowed.
Nope, he
Although
wasn't.
that shove, I think, still should have been a penalty. But
Yeah.
there were tons of uncalled penalties. Again, just really, really egregious uncalled penalties.
Yeah. The one dude with the flying shoulder taking out the backup goalie.
Yes.
I don't like that. Like that makes me, that's like why I don't watch war movies. Like I'm like, nah, I don't want to see violence.
Just for violence sake.
Yeah, no.
It's why when our kid wanted to watch the Squid Games, we were like, sure, have fun. We're going to set that one out. You will not be doing a family marathon of that one.
No, we
You watched the first episode and you're like, I'm good.
yeah, I forgot that I had seen a lot of the first episode and yeah, like I'm not interested.
I was like, I'm getting in the bath. I don't even want to be in the room.
Yeah, I just don't like violence for violence sake. So yeah, I was not a fan of that game. And
Yeah, no, I like a physical, hard-hitting game. I don't like just being
yeah, and
a dick just for funsies.
right, like you can fight and do all that stuff, but there's a distinction with violence, I feel like.
Yeah, no, it's like Dodonov scored a goal and then Braden Shen just shoved him down on the ice just because he was like mad about it.
That was
I
funny.
Like, oh man, Lian Bichsel needs to put him in the bench again
Yeah.
because that was funny when he did that the last time.
And I will say, I know we talked about this briefly, like after the guy did the flying shoulder into the goalie, and I know he like hurt himself bad, but there was nobody stood up for the goalie. There was no.
No, I have.
Okay.
So they cut away from it and went to break, and there was more skirmishy stuff that didn't get shown apparently.
Okay. I don't know. It was still, if anybody did that I don't know. It felt like a weak response from the Stars, like, oh, don't get a penalty. But like, if anybody touches anybody's goalies, everyone flips out. And the Stars were like, oh, push a little bit. I don't know.
I mean, I'm usually kind of like that too, but just the fact that we were like pushed a little bit is a response as far as I'm concerned. Just because Pete DeBoer is usually so like, don't do anything.
Right.
Like, any kind of pushing is a response as far as I'm concerned. I just didn't like, I don't know. I will say Nottinger, the backup goalie, did have some good saves.
Yeah, he was critical.
He was. What we also had, though, were a couple of very key times when the Blues players had basically wide open nets and hit the post.
Oh, they had
had at least 2 chances that would have easily gone in and tied up the game.
I could have put those ones in.
You probably could have. I'm not going to even fight with that one. But they did not go in. And I happen to think that was the hockey gods because the Blues were cheap shotting us all game. And our players were literally bleeding on the ice. They had to keep stopping the game to scrape up Duchesne's blood, Beck's blood, Burke's blood, like everyone's blood off of the ice numerous times.
Yep.
So we made enough blood sacrifices that we got some good posts. And you know what? Wasn't the most glamorous win in the world, but I'll take it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad they won that one. If a team wins with that kind of strategy against, bringing out the violence, like it can work for sure. I've seen it work, but I don't like it. It's not a good storyline for me.
Yeah, especially if you're not going to bring like skill too. Like,
that's the biggest thing. Like bring violence, but I need to see some skill
right.
backing it up.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of why I like Lian Bichsel. He's not just like a goon. Like,
right.
He's also a very skilled player.
Yeah.
That's why I enjoy him. And he has passion, apparently.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. It was a good game, I guess. I think we watched the whole thing.
We did.
I think I maybe missed part of the second again.
You probably did. You usually wander off in the second. It doesn't hold your interest.
Well, there's things that have to be done, and the second is a good time to do those things.
I guess that's a good point.
Yeah.
I did nothing except for sit on the couch yesterday, and that's what I'm going to do for the rest of the day.
Nice.
Although I did just find out I have to work a little bit after this, but I can do that from the couch, so that's fine.
There we go.
So once again, I don't have any kind of game time. We're definitely going to do something fun next week, though. We need to. So
yeah,
it can't just be all hockey all the time. We sometimes have to have fun.
Yeah, we do.
You're like, yeah, but is fun really? Is your idea of fun really fun?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for going on this journey with me. I appreciate it.
No problem. Yeah, I think I don't have anything else to say.
I don't think there's that much else to say either. Thanks for taking care of me after my dental surgery. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks hey, good job doing this podcast with your mouth over there.
We'll see how it sounds. Hopefully people can understand me. If you're a new listener, I promise I'm usually a little more comprehensible.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yep.
Well, that's the end of regulation for this week's episode of Ice is Slippery. You can find us on Tumblr and Instagram at Ice is Slippery Pod, where I occasionally post content whenever I happen to get around to it. I'm also on Blue Sky now, but I don't remember my handle, so just look for me there and I'll update that next week.
Okay, sure.
If, like Fred, you avoid social media, you can email us at iceisslipperypod@gmail.com, where we'd love to hear your spicy takes or get suggestions for future games. Until next week, stay out of the penalty box.